Alrighty, everything sci-fi, fantasy, and culture. This is part 2 of our anything for fame, anything to be famous. So far we talked about people doing crazy things to get hits and likes. And Drew, where are we gonna go from here? Because we started talking about some things.
We started at the McDonald's.
Yeah.
Then we went to body hair and body positivity, and then from there we transitioned to the topic of maturity and teenagers. And I think what we were circling is the idea that when young people are exposed to that level of technology and can have that much come at them, like when it comes to going viral, when it comes to getting the what's the one chick that catch me outside, the little girl.
Oh,
they got a whole record deal.
She got a record deal.
Ratchet.
Right.
Okay, yeah, gets a whole record deal off of just being ratchet. I'm like, that's the lotto chance. That's like the children's lotto. If I can go on YouTube or go on TikTok or go on Twitch and make that one stupid funny video, right?
It'll change my life. It'll change, right?
Yeah, it'll change my life, and I'll make $1 billion like the TikTok girl who just sat up there is going like this. Like that, it could happen, maybe, but most likely you're not.
That's the thing with that. Like, she was being serious, dead serious about Catch Me Outside. How about that? And yeah, a lot of us saw it as comedy, but in reality, it wasn't really funny. It was just sad.
Right. It was sad. Yeah, you're right. We were laughing at her ignorance. We were laughing at the fact that she was basically a buffoon.
Yeah,
but again, she didn't know any better. But that was her consciousness. That's where she was at. I think actually the sad part is that people found a way to capitalize on her looking like a buffoon. It's like the young lady with the Hawk 2.
Yeah, the Hawk 2. They gave her a whole show for just talking about
clothing line.
Hawk 2. There.
That was. It was even brought up during the debates.
Wait, what?
They were saying that, I think it was in Fox News, they had a bunch of people and they were talking, and it was right before the debates, and they were saying that the vice president got to that level because she hopped to her way to that position.
Oh.
Which is totally disrespectful.
It is.
Whether true or not true or whatever like that, but just to tell you how big the fact that reference was used.
It's like culturally relevant to where you're seeing it in presidential debates, and it's something very dumb. It's like we're putting our court gestures on these pinnacles of culture, basically.
Right.
And I don't know, from I guess this could be like the kind of Joker, the Joker in me, but it's like, you know what? If y'all are that incessant on putting your clowns in seats of power,
right,
and putting idiots in places of reverence like this, then maybe this whole thing should burn down. I'm not wishing it on anybody, obviously, but it's the idea, if that's where the culture and society needs to go, and it needs to fall to whatever fathom before people realize, this is kind of dumb. Like how we were talking before, everyone has their threshold, their line for when they're no longer comfortable with doing something.
Right.
If society has to plummet to such a degree to where we're all kind of collectively going, oh my God, Skynet took over, it's doomsday, then maybe so be it.
Maybe. Have you ever saw a movie called Idiocracy?
Yes, I call it real life.
This is what we're heading to. This is really what we're heading towards.
We're there. We're there. We beat it. It took 1,000 years in the movie for them to get there. We did it in 100. Wow. I call that movie real life. I love Idiocracy.
It's especially where things are with jobs and everything. And I'm not going to go deep into that because I may get canceled or get the treatment P. Diddy.
Well, you'd have to do a lot. First off,
you'd have to do a lot.
Bottles of baby oil in your joint. You have to start there.
It's no baby oil.
That's the going price. Okay. Well, if you don't have 1,000 bottles of baby oil, you don't qualify, good friend.
Yeah, you're fine. You'll be good.
You ever notice how certain organizations and corporations hire people and they have no experience, but when it's someone that they have experience, it's overqualified, or they don't want them because they're not yes people. They're no people because they know what can work and what not can work.
Well, that's the corporate stratagem. They like hiring them young because they can pay you. They can make you do 4 times the work of the experienced person for half the pay, less than half the pay in some instances in some industries. If you're a veteran, if you're skilled at something, they have to pay you more. And it's like, I'd rather have 4 unskilled people do the same job for less than have 1 skilled person for the going rate.
And Dayveonne, you know what? As much as that's scary and it's unfortunate and it happens over and over again, there's going to be a time where people say, man, remember back in the day when nepotism and people be hired and they don't know anything? Those were the days. Because soon it's going to be like, you know what? I don't need a yes person. I have AI.
Yeah. Well, there's certain checks and balances for that too. But I'm looking at all these jobs where it's like, we have robots that can do your gig. So we don't need you anymore. When they have like robots and apps that can serve McDonald's, since we're on the topic of that earlier, once the robots can cook a burger, a lot of people are going to be really scared.
I'm glad you mentioned that. So anything for Fame, and I do want to do a whole nother episode, and maybe we could do some movies, some series, do that for like one show, and then the second show totally change gears. But I can't help but talk a little bit about AI right now, because this whole thing for Fame, now AI is going to be competing with Fame with fake actors, fake singers. Like there's somebody that actually has more streams than Michael Jackson, and they have like 84 artist accounts, but people don't know like most of the music is, well, the person's not even a musician. It's all AI.
Yeah, when you say like more numbers than Michael Jackson, it's like, okay, you're talking about in terms of people who listen to it.
Correct.
Or streams, right? Okay.
Like daily streams, not overall, but just the daily streams. And so when a virtual model is going to be competing with the average, let's say 16 to 34, but the AI would be perfect. They won't ever have a pimple. They're gonna scientifically know what frequency they should be speaking, and the tone, and in this and that. There's gonna be no way for people to compete with that. At least if they're going for quote unquote perfection and whatever that is.
Now here's the thing. Go ahead.
I was 7. This may sound a little odd, but to what you just said, good. I kind of think that the angle is that the AI gets so good that when we have muscle waifus that literally embody perfection, all the other little would-be aspiring influencers will be like, dude, I can't compete with AI. Like, I have to live in the gym. This isn't worth it. Oh, wait, this crap isn't real. And then they'll be normal. Or at least maybe like, that'll be like their wake-up call. Once you hit that threshold, it's like, oh, man, AI's got me. Nope, better turn back. I got to rejoin reality again. Good. Let the AI make them so. And I know there's the whole argument of, oh, well, these kids and their self-esteem, they can't live up to the same standards. As long as they know this is AI, it's not real. Someone's there to tell them, like, yo, dude, this is fictional. This is crap. This is not real. They can pivot. They can realize, oh, wait, I'm just a human. I don't have to embody perfection, nor could I. Right. And let me go on with the rest of my life. Good.
But I really think you're going to have those that's going to try to, and to at what cost, and they're going to do it in a way where they may be in a hospital, or
they might die. They might not make it. We've had plenty of TikTokers, influencers who've snuffed it, who've taken that last bow. And my thing is, this is gonna be dark for 2 seconds. But have you watched Gantz? The anime? Gantz. It's a sci-fi thing. Okay. It's gonna be a little hard to navigate, but the idea is that Gantz is an alien that sends humans. Upon death, he makes copies of their bodies and then sends them to fight space aliens, okay, for points or the ability to come back to life, okay? Every Gantz game, me and some of the homies that are also into it go like this. Every group of people that gets put into a Gantz game, say there's a dozen. Of any group, you got at least a couple to a few that just ain't gonna make it. They don't want to listen. They don't want to follow. They don't believe that they're in a Gantz game. Oh, this is crap. This is really wake up. You need these people. You need these sacrificial lambs to be like, okay, I'm telling you how it is. We're in a situation that's precarious and we could die. No, we're not, dude. You're lying. Okay, wait and see. Everyone else, watch these two. Watch these three. When we get out there and they die, you'll know that I'm not making any lies. I'm not messing with you. You need those people. So when it comes to, but what about the ones that get all depressed because they can't live up to the AI? It's a Gantz game. We need to lose them. Oh, sorry. I know it sounds mean, but that's just if I can't make you all come with reason, then we're just gonna have to see it through trial and error.
Yeah. You mentioned something earlier too about when we get to the point. There actually is a restaurant running in California, and I believe he's working on another restaurant in New York where everything, like the burgers, everything is made by robots. It's a fast food restaurant, and it's 100% run by robots. So that already exists.
Yeah, it starts there.
And there is a chicken joint where everything is cooked by robots in New York. I passed it once. I didn't go in.
Good? Have you been there?
I haven't been in there, but I did pass it. It does exist.
Check it.
Say it again.
Is it fried chicken?
Check it out. Prompt chicken.
So that's what it's going to take to get you to New York.
No, I told you to go see it. I mean, if it's good, I'll check it out. The Robo Chicken, I'm down. Robot Chicken, for real?
Yeah, like for real. So it is happening. And before the pandemic and kind of during, because I know they shut down and then they did like the International Food Convention. I went to that, and there were a couple machines that were making pizzas. Like all the ingredients, like you just have to put the ingredients in something, but it pulls everything and makes pizzas exactly the way you want it. So I know since then they were, I think it says like 2020 or 2021, they've been working on how to replace the worker. And because of
they're
COVID,
trying to figure it out. They're trying to figure out. They're working night and day. They're probably, as we speak, they're trying to figure out how to get them T1 series up and running to hook up these combo plates. And when they do,
it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's game. That's game.
Also the drivers too. The automatic drivers. Once you don't need humans to do Uber, and if that ever was to happen, I think there's too much drama that could happen. But if it's possible that we could have robot drivers in the future, it's a lot of people gotta like reevaluate. And there's tons of paper pushers, whether it's government jobs, civic, all these different jobs that like, the reality is you don't really need a staff of 50 people or 300 people to do a lot of the stuff. You realize like some of the positions are kind of redundant. And I think that, I'll say it this way. The guy that invented this first all AI, all robot chain was like, the way things are going and having to pay people and having to keep rising minimum wage is causing too many problems. And then you add the whole pandemic situation, people in their germs, getting sick, calling off of work, people not wanting to go back to work because they were getting a check. You're like, no. So he did a deep dive and said, listen, I want to solve this problem because I know other independent restaurant owners, not the McDonald's, not the Wendy's, but independent that were suffering because of the issues with their employees and stuff like that. And he said, I have the answer. So if McDonald's one day said, I want to put $1 billion to back this guy's system, it is a wrap.
Now, my question is, once these businesses or these governments do that, how do you expect people to live?
That's not their concern.
They don't care.
I hear what you're saying, but they're not concerned with that.
No, because if you really think about it, you're trying to use robots, right? Just like you're trying to use robots for every single thing, whether it's Uber, Lyft, fast food restaurants, government,
secretaries, management,
AI.
There's varying levels of that. When it comes to like secretaries, there's apps that you can use that'll store information, sure. There's automated things that you can use to like, leave recordings and stuff, like a Siri or an Alexa. That was mine. But like when it comes to like logistic stuff, you're always going to have a need for some level of human, right? If for nothing else, like I was thinking of this, if AI completely took over, the angle could be we now need humans to differentiate or kind of screen the bad AI so that we can make better AI. Right. Where it's like you become that litmus test for what makes good. Now, it's in the long run, I think we'll be old and gray and dead by then. But I think like the idea is at a point we're going to have humans who are checking the fidelity and I guess the authenticity of what will become like androids, like robots and stuff that are the ones that do our jobs. We're going to be the ones that make sure that they run properly and that they're living up to snuff when their function as a robot or whatever.
But the workforce of this will now be this monitoring.
It's going to shrink significantly. Yeah, there's still opportunities, but it's going to shrink significantly, and the rest of us are going to be probably trying to do a work from home gig, some little clipping coupons, doing a survey for chump change type of thing, because it's looking dicey.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out like unless the government's just going to make money come out of the air, or everybody has this one pay or one amount that they get every single day.
You mean like a Dubai kind of thing where they pay their citizens? That's what you mean?
Yeah.
But then people would have to embrace socialism to some, like social programs, and people are against that. But then
we'd rename it something, but we're kind of, when you look at the whole social welfare thing, it's going to be less socialism and more like an expanded, like kind of what we do for social welfare. That's going to become a much broader thing, and you're going to have citizens who are like, I don't even know if they would give people like a stipend. Like here,
I don't think that will happen.
It's the first of the month. Here's your little $1,000 credit stipend. Here's your little $1,000, whatever little currency X. That's not really money, but just enough so that you don't die. And you can get your little government issue spam and maybe some dirty water. Like, it's dystopian, but I mean, I could see it definitely going that route.
And the way things are going with the apartments and housing market, the government are debating on trying to what? Because if that's the case, how are people going to live, or where are people going to find shelter?
Well, let's tie that in. So that hunger for fame and hunger to make as much money as possible, based on the conversation we had, it is possible that might end as far as many people as possible being famous. Like the days of the record deal has gone.
It's dead.
Long time ago. And then even the challenges for the independent filmmakers and the independent series creator and the writers. There's so many challenges within the arts and creativity. I mean, even going to the different comic book conventions, technically that world is like 15, 20 years ago in the music industry, where like people just were able to put out music themselves and do all this stuff like independently. I mean, people put money to make records like since 60s, 70s. People were doing that, but everybody couldn't afford to do that, right? Now we're at the point where it's a lot of money, but reasonably everyone can do that.
It's ubiquitous now. You could have just a SoundCloud and still get as many hits as if you would, probably more if you had like a full contract and a studio album. Right. But I think what we're circling.
But the money's not there. After you do all that,
it depends. It depends. Mostly outright, no, not outright anymore.
Like you're not getting the streams. You're not getting because now with the streaming thing, if you spend $30,000 to put out a record, I mean, famous people with airplay are not making the money as they should. The only thing is they're doing the concerts, they're doing the merch, they're doing the other things to supplement. So bring it back to sci-fi, fantasy, independent filmmakers and comic book creators, same scenario. put out that 30, 60 grand, but how are you making that money back? And because of AI, it's making it even harder because how are you going to compete?
It depends. Because you can then we're not thinking of how you can use the AI to your benefit. People need to stop thinking of it in terms of, oh no, we're losing opportunities. It's like, okay, well, what we have, how the game has changed, how can we exploit this to our benefit? So if AI is making all the stuff nowadays, how do you get into that to make the AI with your own thing on it, with your music, with your brand?
Right now, you could, I want a song about cats drinking milk, and it'll create it. Boom. That's not, so it will save money, because as soon as I did that, boom, it'll create it, and it's a generic thing, and I can play you some.
It's not you could submit it as a finished product, and it'll be whatever quality it is.
Right.
But the idea is that you have a skeleton now where you could take it, put your beats in, put your transitions, your hook, whatever you want in that track, and transform it into something more fleshed out that actually has that human element in it. It can be used when it comes to writing AI. AI makes crap scripts. I've read them. They're garbage. They're the most generic, bi-creepypasta crap I've ever read. But the idea is you can still use that as a skeleton.
You can still use it and play with it.
I
don't think anyone could argue. I don't think anyone could argue where AI can be used, but in the process, I think that or any creative process, whether it's graphic design, video games, I'm talking about once all that's said and done, whether you toil in the night and spend hours and create this thing, or you have AI created in 2 minutes and create this thing, you still have to put time and money to push and make that thing viable, which goes back to the other episode we just did, being famous, right? Some people are just doing crazy stuff, and then some people are like, no, I actually have this piece of work or art. How do you get that out there and competing with, you're still competing with AI in some form or fashion, if that makes sense.
Competing with everyone. You're competing with the industries, you're competing with the AI, you're competing with other people in that community or sphere who are also using the other tools.
Right.
It's kind of the Wild West in that regard, and it's cool. What is good, what sticks with the culture will stick, and what dies out will die out. It's the apocalypse method. From X-Men.
What will be. Survival of the fittest.
The evolved shall live, shall die.
Oh my goodness.
It's pros and cons to it.
Yeah.
I think that AI, because I'm not example, I'm a writer, I'm not an artist. I couldn't draw stick figures. But I use AI to create my own little characters that are close enough to what I want the description to be.
Right.
I either show that to other artists, I either use it as my own, because it's mine, I created it. So is the internet, but whatever. And then you move from there. There's ways around it. We can use it.
Do you think we could survive without fame? Or this desire to want to be famous as a culture, straight across?
That's you're asking that intrinsic thing of can humans go without wanting to be wanted? And I'm like, most people know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Most people, it all varies. It has its various moments. You got people that, oh yeah, I want to be famous so I could do good. And you got others that's just I don't want all that publicity. I don't want all that attention. That's why they said they have extroverts, if I'm saying it correct, or introverts.
Well, some people want to sell their book. They want to sell their comic. They want to sell their music, but aren't necessarily interested in fame. But in order to market, promote, and get out there, you got to almost buy into that. And then you have individuals that, I want everyone to know me at any cost. I'm going to drive my car into McDonald's,
No, Seven. I'm not permitting that one. I'm sorry.
No?
I mean, I get the sentiment, but it's there's a wide difference between I'm going to make this script and use a fake name and just put the script out there to see who bites.
Interesting.
Right. And if it turns into a great film or series, awesome. I have a hand in that. I anonymously created something in the realm of fiction.
Right.
versus I'm not getting enough attention. Let me try and run my car into a fast food joint.
I can't believe he did that.
Okay, so that's why I don't put those on the same same sphere. I just don't do it.
And that's why I said there's introverts and extroverts. Like those extroverts don't want the attention. They don't want their name out there. They'll use an alias to basically say, "Oh yeah, this person is."
Well, an extrovert would want that.
Yeah.
You said it backwards.
Introvert
doesn't want the attention.
Kind of goes back.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah. But at the same time, you know, the people that want the attention are like, let's say, not everybody, like what Andrew's saying or the video you showed. Because you got people that want to be famous and do it the right way. And then you got those that want to be famous and do it the wrong way. And then you have introverts that just they don't want the attention, but they want their works to be seen.
Yeah, but I think, that's true. And I think the only angle with that is that kind of skews things is the idea that people en masse they'll make the lowest common denominator, the dumbest element, the most popular thing, simply for the end of like clout. For the clout is the end of itself. Mm-hmm. Like, what's that crap on TV? Things that get popular just because. That balloon pop crap?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like, I guess it's like the modern day, what was the show, Seven?
Dating game?
Dating game. It was like, not Jeopardy.
Swipe left or right.
Love Connection. That
Love
type
Connection,
of crap.
right.
Yeah. Like
but you're right, Dayveonne. That is kind of like a organic swipe left or right. It's the same vibe, right?
Yeah. It's the same idea of mate selections, what that is.
Mate selections, right.
Yeah, this is just these mate selection shows. And it's like, okay, they're dumb. It's like pop the balloon if you think that they're ugly or not unattractive or whatever. I'm like, all right, great. That's what gets millions and millions of views. It's not something about history. Everyone wants to talk about how history matters and stuff, but it's not history documentaries that are getting millions and millions of views. It's the dumbest crap possible.
Right.
So if that's what attracts numbers, if that's what attracts the masses, then that's what's going to get made.
Yeah, because I'll be honest with you, I'm guilty of watching that show, like watching people pop the balloon, because it's like, I'm not interested in who's going to be in a relationship or who's going to be picked. I'm interested in the interaction.
The drama, bull crap.
So wait, I've seen clips of this. Is this a real show or is just something online?
It's a real show on YouTube.
It's a real thing.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I've only seen clips, but I'm like, this is literally what people dedicate rooms and money and props.
Wow.
And whole sections. I don't know how long the shows go for, but I'm like, wow, hours gets put into this. This is what society is.
Wow.
So.
And it's interesting because you be sitting there like, okay, why they pop their balloon?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Or it just pop the balloon and not give the person a chance.
The reasons will be very, and again, this kind of jumps back on what you're saying.
We got 1 minute left.
Okay, the whole maturity thing, they're on these shows, it's just mostly because they want to be seen on camera. A lot of it, it's like adults who are still little kids, and they're Stuart from Mad TV. On some, look what I can do. That crap. They do a little stupid dance, and then that's it. That's all they got. So.
Or they act stupid or try to be all tough. It's just like watching reality TV. But it is reality on a stupid level.
Can't say
so there you have it. This is our show on Fame and a little bit on AI. We'll do a whole show on AI. Thank you very much, Dayveonne. Thank you very much, Drew. I'm Seven. You're watching Geekcaster. You can always check us out on geekcaster.com. If you're checking us online, we appreciate you on social media and all that stuff. And be good to one another. And I don't know, man. Drew says whatever happens will happen, so we'll see. And enjoy your fame, even if it's 2 minutes. Be free,
don't run any fast food restaurants, y'all. Be good.
Yeah, be good to fast food restaurants because
be good to fast food places.
It might not exist anymore. All right, we out.